There's a head cold.
That's why she said, I'd rather get
Good evening. Welcome to the Milltown Borough Council meeting of February 28th, 2022. This meeting has been properly advertised in the Home News Tribune of January 7th, 2022, according to Public Law 1975, Chapter 231. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilwoman Newbauer.
Here.
Councilman O'Donnell.
Here.
Councilman Peretti.
Here.
Councilman Potter.
Here.
Councilman Revelinsky.
Here.
And Council President Sembrana.
Here.
Thank you. Please join me for a moment of silence, followed by a salute to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. So this evening, we get to start off our meeting with an introduction. The state has redistricted our state representatives. So Milltown was in the 17th district with State Senator Bob Smith, Assemblymen Joe Danielson, and Egan. And so now, starting in 2023, the redistricting will bring us into the 18th district. So we have two of the three of our 18th district representatives. We have State Senator Pat Dinan and Assemblyman Robert Karabenchek, and our other Assemblyman Sterling Stanley, who's from East Brunswick, is in Trenton, so he couldn't be here this evening. So thank you for joining us. I know that the state senator has a little history with Milltown. He was a borough attorney many years ago. So if you'd like to get up and introduce yourself, feel free. Thanks for being here.
Mike's been here how many years now, Mike? Is it? I believe he's going for the record.
It's almost
Take a picture. They could have a statue. We had many an interesting night sitting over there in those, and you have a great. Kidding aside, I was joking with the mayor. This for me is like coming home. I was back with Mayor Bradford, who is a terrific person. Always, just like I know all of you up here, always put Milltown above politics, which is what this town is known for. So it is an honor to be back almost at home, second home, and it's my running mate, Rob Karabenchek, and Sterling, I know, hangs out with you guys all the time, so I don't have to introduce him, but here's Rob.
Thank you, Pat. And again, it's my honor to meet everybody. This is the first time. This is the first time I've been in this municipal building. I've been in a lot of them, built a few of them, but this is absolutely beautiful. And I look forward to work with all of you. I give you my cards. Please don't hesitate to call about anything. One of the good things is I'm the chairman for infrastructure and natural resources in the state. And there's going to be a lot of stuff coming down the pike after the budget session. So don't hesitate to call. Thank you.
I'm going to tell you, all kidding aside, what I tell everybody. Don't ever feel that you're being a pain, and I know you have the same relationship with Bob Smith. Seriously, I would rather you call me at 3 o'clock in the morning and tell me about something as opposed to 2 days later saying, gee, Pat, I thought you knew about it. Because don't just presume. You know, the left hand, there's so many things that go on that on their face seem to be, you know, like a no-brainer, and then you find out there's all kinds of ifs, ands, or buts, so please. And as I always said to everybody, with the internet now, you can, you know, text or message at 3 o'clock in the morning, so don't ever feel you're being a pain. Please be certain to call us, okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you being here. And with that, I'm going to take, since we're talking about the State Assembly, I'm going to take an opportunity to read a letter I got last week. It says, Dear Mayor, I am pleased to announce that the New Jersey Department of Transportation has awarded Milltown Borough a $250,000 grant from the Bikeway Grant Program for the Albert Avenue Park Bike Path. This award provides funds to counties and municipalities in order to promote bikeways as an alternative mode of transportation that supports the state's effort to add new miles of dedicated bikeways in New Jersey. And that is signed Assemblyman Joe Danielson from the 17th District. So we thank the Assemblyman for that. We're excited about that grant, and it shows why it's so important that we work with our state representatives who have been very helpful to the borough over the last couple of years. So it's much appreciated. Okay, so with that, we'll go back to our agenda, and we have a presentation this evening. So I'd like to introduce Jason Kahn and Neil Murata from the Milltown 4th of July Committee.
Camera two's not working right, so if it's okay, they can turn around once in a while.
Of course, whatever you need.
Whatever you want them to be.
Whatever you need, Neil.
Just-
You look good on camera.
Yeah, hello, everybody. I'd like to start off by saying, on behalf of the Milltown 4th of July Committee, Neil and I would like to say thank you to the council members here, Mayor, for always listening to our presentations and always thinking of us each and every year. So I'd like to start off by saying that. I've lived in this town for 2.5 years now, nearly 3 years. Neil, you've been here much longer. But there are a lot of people who are like Neil, and that's one of the reasons why my wife and I moved to Milltown, because of the family atmosphere, because of the opportunity to raise a family here. And so when my wife and I first moved here, it was just us. Our family has now grown to 4, if you include our dog, who many of our neighbors now know very well because she tends to get loose and she makes her presence known. And now we have an almost 1-year-old son. But we were introduced to the 4th of July our first year, which was, I believe, July 2019. And when we were there, immediately we saw the passion, the excitement, the fervor. It was a staple here, and we could see that, and immediately that struck us, and we wanted to be in this town. It was important to us to see that, because we know how much the 4th of July is a fabric to this community. So, the reason why I'm tying that in is because when I was first presented with the opportunity to join the 4th of July Committee, it was about a little more than a year ago. It was a no-brainer for me. I wanted to be a part of something that big, that important, that meaningful, and I think this town knows that. I can sense the pride that this town has in the 4th of July, and I just wanted to get that importance, that meaning across about just why the 4th of July Committee, what it means to this town, and there's a great future ahead for the 4th of July Committee, and I am very proud to be a part of it. So that takes me to our first slide here. I'm just going to give you the who you are, what we are, what we're about. We are a 501c3 volunteer-only organization. We do not get paid. We're doing this on our free time. This is not our full-time job. We take that money that we are generously donated to from businesses and from individuals who just love the town and love the 4th of July, and then we use it as capital to support the day through various means. As we are all well aware, the day is done beautifully, and we use those funds to support the day. So as you can see, I'm just summing it up there, but the 4th of July organization, we want to invite everybody, not just this town, but all towns surrounding Milltown, Middlesex County, the state of New Jersey, to come here and join us, continuing to combine family, fun, and entertainment as we salute the birth of our nation. As is tradition, our goal is to provide the best celebration for our town year after year. So we as a committee depend solely on the generosity of both residents and our local organizations and businesses to keep our great Milltown Independence Day celebration alive, and we hope we can depend on you. That's you, and everybody else on the council and in Milltown. So that takes me to the next slide. Our team. As I was talking about, when I first got to this lovely town, I was introduced to a lot of great people, and I think our team embodies that. The great people that we have in this town, the people who care. We're all working hard on that day. We are having fun at the same time, but we are working hard. We're all volunteers. We're doing this at the bottom, from the bottom of our hearts. And as you can see by our Facebook photos there, as some of you probably can tell, many of us are familiar faces and names in this town. So I'll just scroll through some of them here. And this is our wonderful committee. So I'll now pass it to Neil.
First, I want to say thank you to Jason and the wonderful job he has done. He's jumped in with both feet and will only make this committee stronger, which will in turn make Milltown a better place to live. There haven't been many changes. We are working closely with the police department and works. The tentative schedule, and again, we call it tentative schedule because of what's going on. We've had enough surprises over the last couple of years to set anything in stone. So anyway, we will start off with the fishing derby at 6 a.m. The 7:45 is the fun run, and then the 5K run by the Knights of Columbus will kick off at 8:10. We have the parade kickoff at 10 a.m., starting at the corner of Main Street and Van Loo Avenue, as always. Followed by the duck race, Main Street Bridge. I think that's still hosted by St. Paul's. And then we are dispensing with the park celebration this time. Again, based on circumstances, we thought it was best. If we're going to bring that back in the future, we will review it and consider at that time. But for this year, we're not going to include the daytime festivities at the park. However, then at 4 o'clock, we're having, the fun kicks off. We're having music and vendors. Mr. Ray will be at the park. He is a mainstay. Anybody who's had children who've gone through Good Day or through the school system, they're very familiar with Mr. Ray. A wonderful show. And at 8 o'clock, we're going to have the Patriotic House drawing. Excuse me. And then finally, fireworks at 9:30. And I believe it's Celebration Fireworks. They've done a wonderful job the last couple of years, and we're really happy to have them back again. So, and as Jason also said, okay, thank you.
I got you.
I appreciate that. Not sure how to work that.
See, we all have each other's backs in this committee as well.
Exactly. When you put that there, I was a little worried. As Jason was saying, it needs everybody's help, okay? Everybody is a part of this great day. It is primarily funded through donations. I will not discount the amazing trust and support that the borough gives, which would not make it possible without the police and DPW. However, our residents and businesses have a large part to play. So a number of celebrations we are having. Jason will talk about one of our main fundraisers, but we also have the Dine to Donate. The Francesco's, our first one, is coming up in the next... Today. I'm sorry. Yes. So after today, we'll go over and we'll have a quick slice of pizza. And there will be more throughout the different eateries in Milltown as time comes. So I'm going to turn it back to Jason.
And now the hot topic for the coming weeks for our fundraisers is the celebrity bartender. Sorry, Russ, I know I've had my back turned to you the whole time, so I'll try to look at the camera once in a while. But our celebrity bartender is coming up in less than 2 weeks. We're really trying to ramp it up here, and we've had a lot of great attention so far. There's a lot of people who are already interested in going, from what we can see. It's a great annual event that we host here. Again, it's on March 12th. Doors open at 7 p.m. We have a lot of great guest bartenders who are going to be there. Going to be a fun night overall, and so we hope to get as many people as possible in this town to come out and celebrate. So everybody in the committee, I expect you all to be there. So it's going to be great fun. And I just want to give a shout out to just all the organizations really in this town, everybody in this town who continues to support us. Particularly as Neil had alluded to, the mayor and the council, Milltown Police Department, Milltown Rescue Squad, Milltown Fire Department, Department of Public Works and Utilities, and just all the volunteer sponsors and volunteer organizations, and of course, the residents. Last but not least, I do want to just say thank you again to the council for listening to this presentation. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. I want to thank everybody in Milltown for giving us this opportunity year after year, and we look forward to hosting once again.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody from the council have any questions?
I have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
How do you get tickets to the celebrity bartender?
Oh, how do you get them? So we have multiple ways. You can get physical tickets if you go to one of 5 locations: Maria's Pizza and Subs, Mike's Country Market, Milltown Convenience, Bagel Express, and Rescued by Lacey. Or you can use the link, which is right there on the flyer. So just copy and paste that link, or just type it in as the URL, and you can purchase them digitally. Or you can use your phone and scan that QR code. It'll pull up the site automatically, and you'll be able to purchase tickets that way.
Thank you.
No problem.
Anyone else? I'm sure most of us, all of us will be there, and so.
I'll be there,
Good.
and actually, I'm hoping that our new assemblyman might be able to attend as well. You'll see, it's a terrific time.
Be a celebrity bartender.
That is a great idea. Great idea.
And Madam Mayor.
We'll put you in.
Oh, Mr.
Madam Mayor,
Potter.
just want to let you know that the last event that we had, the Celebrity Bartender, was March 7th,
I remember that.
2020.
I remember
And you know
that.
what happened the week after, so we
Yeah,
want to use
that
this to
was-
open everything back up.
That was the last
That's all.
event I went to before things shut down.
Exactly, so we're hoping this
It was
event opens
It was very
everything.
fun. They did a great job, so looking forward to it.
And the heels were something, the dance floor.
We'll be on the dance floor, sure.
Yeah,
Gentlemen,
fantastic.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
very much. Nice job.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. All right. Next, we'll move on to the approval of minutes from January 24th, 2021. May I have a motion and a second?
Madam Mayor, make a motion that the minutes be approved as typed.
Second?
I have a motion by Councilman Potter, second by Councilman Revelinsky. Any discussion or corrections? Okay, hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, now we have the approval of minutes from February 14th, 2022. May I have a motion and a second?
I move that the minutes be approved as typed.
Second?
I have a motion by Councilman Peretti, second by Councilman Revelinsky. Any comments?
Madam Mayor, I'm going to abstain, because I wasn't here.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstention?
And abstain.
Any opposed? Okay. Now we'll move on to the public hearing for community block grant. The purpose of the public hearing tonight regarding the Housing and Community Development Funds is to receive citizens' input on how the borough should spend any housing and community development that are allocated to the borough. Housing and community development funds are monies received from the federal government and administered by the county government. The use of housing and community development funds is limited to the use for projects involving senior citizens. Monies allotted for this funding round are expected to be approximately $58,919 for Milltown. In the past, we have funded educational, recreational, and nutritional programs, senior transportation, and building improvements such as new windows. At this time, I will open the floor to public comment. If anyone from the public wishes to comment, please state your name and address for the record. Seeing none, I will close audience comments on the public hearing. And then I will move on to comments from the audience on resolutions. Next on the agenda is comments from the audience on resolutions. If any member of the public wishes to speak on any of the resolutions, please identify yourself to the clerk and say your name and address for the record. These comments are limited to resolutions listed on the agenda. Seeing none, I'll close audience comments. We'll move on to bills and claims. Will the clerk please read by title only the bill resolution 070-2022?
Resolution 070-2022 is authorizing the payment of bills and claims and statements against the Borough of Milltown in the total amount of $3,382,000 $895.63.
You've heard the reading of this resolution. What is your pleasure?
Madam Mayor, I move that the bill list be approved as typed.
Second.
Have a motion by Councilman Potter, second by Council President Zambrana. Excuse me, any discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilwoman Newbauer?
Aye.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Aye.
Councilman Peretti?
Aye.
Councilman Potter?
Aye.
Councilman Revelinsky?
Aye.
Council President Zambrana?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Now we have the introduction of resolutions. When voting on resolutions, all matters listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine in nature and having been reviewed by the Borough Council, acted by one motion. Any item may be removed from the consent agenda at the request of any council member, and if so removed, will be treated as a separate matter. Any items requiring expenditure are supported by a certification of availability of funds. Are there any questions, or does anyone want to pull any resolution from the consent agenda? Hearing none, I'll ask the clerk to please read the consent resolution.
Whereas pursuant to the rules of council, the council may establish a consent agenda for any regular or special meeting. And whereas the Borough Clerk has posted a consent agenda for this meeting. Now therefore, excuse me, be it resolved by the Mayor and Borough Council of the Borough of Milltown, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, that the consent agenda previously prepared by the Borough Clerk be approved without the necessity of having the individual resolutions read by the Borough Clerk.
You've heard the reading of this resolution. What is your pleasure?
I move that this resolution be adopted.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Revelinsky, second by Councilman Potter. Any discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
And this will approve resolutions 71, 2022 through 76, 2022. Councilwoman Newbauer?
Aye.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Aye.
Councilman Peretti?
Aye.
Councilman Potter?
Aye.
Councilman Revelinsky?
Aye.
Council President Zambrana?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Now we'll move on to council reports, starting with the Department of Finance, Administration, and Planning. Council President Phil Zambrana.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Short finance report, just to say that we're in the midst of scheduling dates for the Finance Administration and Planning Group to go over the 2022 budgets. Those should be set in motion next week. Second, on our last Ford Avenue Redevelopment Agency meeting on February 15th, the discussion came up about how the owner has allowed, I guess, some subleasing to different folks there. That goes against what the intended purposes of that site is for. Reached out to our business administration and found out that our zoning official did reach out to the owner's legal counsel and waiting to hear about what next steps are, how this can be remediated. And then my last report is a short one about the senior center. So at the senior center, there's a new Spanish class and a great turnout and buzz about it. And because of that, Debbie Cuddy, our senior center director, is teaching it weekly. There was also a lunch and learn on the falls downsizing and decluttering presented by Sunrise of East Brunswick. A lot of useful information, especially on the importance of safety in the home. As always, the staple classes that are being offered are aerobics, yoga, tai chi, line dancing, arts and craft, bingo, and the men's club. I was actually fortunate enough to attend a rap session this past Thursday at 12 p.m. It was great to see all the seniors, to talk to them and listen to all of their questions, of which there were many, about every single thing in this town. Look forward to going back next month and the month after again, because again, it's important that they ask their questions and we acknowledge that those questions are important. As an FYI, the Senior Center will have their first Women's Club meeting on Tuesday, March 15th at 12 p.m. At this time, the Women's Club will initially meet for lunch monthly and eventually move to bi-monthly meetings as needed. Those interested are invited to attend. No sign-up is necessary. And as a reminder, the Senior Center is open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. and anyone can contact Debbie Cuddy. via email at dcuddy@milltownborough.com or via phone number at 732-296-0681 for any other information or questions, or if they are interested on volunteering. And that concludes my reports, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Next, we'll move on to the Department of Public Safety. Councilman Dave Potter.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I have a couple reports tonight. First one is a message from the Milltown Fire Department. Their junior program was established in 1999 by Ordinance 01-1102. The program had several successful years and even produced their last fire chief, Chief Dan Knoll. The program's main advisor unfortunately passed away and the program ceased to exist. In order to bolster their ranks and provide a positive experience for Milltown's youth and junior firefighter program is being reestablished. The program will be open to Milltown residents ages 14 to 18. And if you're looking for more information, you can find it posted on the Milltown Fire Department social media pages and on the department website, milltownfire.org. Also on March 14th, a group of 8th grade students participating in the Youth in Government program will be touring the firehouse and will learn about the department's functions. And the fire department recently hosted a local Girl Scout troop, and they look forward to continuing to engage community events. Remember, anyone interested in joining the Milltown Fire Department are encouraged to either stop by the firehouse on Monday evenings or send an email to joinmilltownfire, all one word, @gmail.com. Sincerely, Fire Chief Stephen Battaglia. Madam Mayor, my second report is it's coming from Police Department, from Chief Brian Kennelly. We are experiencing a rise in vehicle burglaries and vehicle thefts. Neighboring towns have reported multiple stolen vehicles on a single night. Milltown Police reminds residents not to store and/or broadcast any valuables in their parked vehicles. Remember to lock your vehicle doors and never leave keys or key fobs or proximity keys inside your parked vehicles. During the month of March, police and East Brunswick Police will join forces in a strict speed enforcement campaign. Police will be conducting extended daily radar details on Couthall Avenue and Riva Avenue with very little tolerance for excess speed. Our residents are reminded of the 25-mile-an-hour speed limit on these roads, and we should obey all local and state traffic laws. Milltown Police Department is currently accepting applications for part-time police dispatchers. Applications are available at the Borough Clerk's Office or at www.milltownnj.org. Thank you for your cooperation, Chief Brian Kennelly. Madam Mayor, it also was brought to our attention that the medicine drop, the mailbox in the police vestibule, please make sure when you're disposing of the pills that they're in containers. We've been hearing there's some loose pills, and we want to avoid that. So please make sure that everything's in those containers. One other thing I'd like to bring to everybody's attention, the Milltown Local 338 is currently conducting their 2022 fund drive. We're requesting your financial assistance so that we may fund various donations and sponsorships. The Milltown Police Department and Milltown PBA are proud to serve our community, and we're very excited to be committed to keeping Milltown a safe community. They sent this letter out to all residents. I personally have my donation, and I will be dropping it off after this meeting to the police department. And finally, just to let you know, Madam Mayor, Council President Zambrano, Councilwoman Dubauer, and myself visited the Milltown Rescue Squad last week. We had a very nice tour of the building. We met everybody on the squad. They had one of their meetings, and we were very appreciative of their hospitality. Great. And the good news is they may in the future be also providing us reports that I could report out to the community. Great. And that concludes my report.
Thank you very much. Next, we'll move on to the Department of Utilities. Councilman James Perez.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Start with the Water Sewer Department. Along with all daily markouts, emergency markouts, pump checks, and work orders, the Water and Sewer Department has the following to report. 4 new meters have been installed, which continues our replacement program. 42 West Church Street had an abandoned water service removed to prevent future issues with leaks or ice. 9 Columbia Avenue had a water main break resolved by the department, and no loss of water was necessary. The lead and copper letters have arrived in homes. These are simply a continuation of lead education required by Milltown by the DEP. Should anyone have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact Don Herman at extension 148. Hydrant flushing will be approaching this spring, again, as per DEP regulations. Notices will go out as soon as dates are available for those hydrant flushings. Please check Channel 15 and milltownnj.org for more water and sewer updates. For the electric utilities, the electric substation inspections were performed daily. Batteries were checked for proper levels. The T1 transformer containment was pumped out. The leaking bushing on the substation distribution transformer T2 was replaced by our maintenance contractor. Milltown Electric personnel provided all substation switching required for the bushing replacement. Department members replaced the nitrogen tanks on all 3 distribution transformers for oil preservation, and low pressure switches were activated and the monitoring systems indicated alarms. Vegetation management and leaf removal was performed. Our apprentice was able to observe the preparation of a substation switch order to parallel 2 transformers so that the T2 could be de-energized and assisted in carrying out the operation. A circuit breaker was racked out of the switchgear with a remote control unit as part of the process so that the contractor could perform their work safely. New LED streetlights were installed to replace defective high-pressure sodium fixtures on South Main Street, Hill Street, North Main Street, and West Church Street, JFK Drive, and Ford Avenue. A streetlight was repaired on Columbia Avenue. Branches were removed from the distribution wiring following the high winds of February 18th. We are happy to report that there were no outages. 2 trees were removed on Henry Street, and department members worked with the billing staff to troubleshoot billing issues and provide final readings and any rereads. Several broken electric meters have been now replaced. And also noting bucket truck number 16 is unfortunately down for several weeks due to a malfunctioning emission system. And just one other thing, Madam Mayor, I'm glad you announced that Department of Transportation Bikeway grant. I just want to mention that grant idea, that submission, started with a resident bringing that to a committee meeting. And
great.
that committee meeting met with other committees to figure out what would be best for the community. And it was from that idea and then working with CME to get that grant process started, that a year later now we have those funds and able to do something with it. So please, if you guys have ideas, join committees, talk to the council members, because it's those ideas that make opportunities like this possible. So I thought it would be a good time as we're reading our reports to mention that.
That's great. No, thank you. And I should have mentioned that that came out of a request that you had from when you were the Department of Rec last year, and so that was somebody from the Rec Advisory Committee, so that is great. That just goes to show that we want to listen and then try and act on what we hear from the public. So thank you, James. Appreciate your work on that. All right, now we'll move on to the Department of Public Works and Recycling. Councilwoman Anna Neubauer.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. For tonight's report, along with all regular sanitation pickups, the bulk collections, the DPW has the following to report. 3 more trees have been removed from the tree list, and playground safety material was dispersed at Albert Avenue Park. Spring refurbishment of the baseball fields has begun and will continue as weather permits. Leaf cleanup has taken place at Borough Pool, and pothole repair has taken place throughout the town and is continuously ongoing. The mandated Clean Communities report has been completed and turned into the state, and the DPW assisted utilities with a water main break on 9 Columbia. As spring cleanups begin in our yards, please remember no plastic bags can be used except for household garbage. Please put garden waste and brush in cans and out on your regular garbage days. Reminder, residents, please sign up for Nixles to receive timely alerts. Please check Channel 15 and milltownnj.org for DPW updates. And additionally, we did not have a Board of Health meeting in February, but we did have a Board of Health meeting in January, and I wasn't here to report out on it. For January 25th, 2022, we had new members this year: John Collins, David McGow, Patrick Hansen, and our chairman was elected as Pat Hansen for the year. We reviewed what the different scores for the different restaurants meant, and we continued to discuss other ongoing issues from the previous year, which included the fact that the rabies clinic has been confirmed for May 24th at 6 p.m., and more information will come on the location and if anyone wants to volunteer for it. And also, the county has updated their webpage for rabies clinic. I should be getting a link to give people to use for that. From the previous year, there had recently been issues reporting out on births, and Kathy has said that has now been resolved, so that's all good. And our next meeting will be occurring in March. I just need a specific date. And that's all I have to report tonight.
Great, thank you. And now we'll move on to the Department of Environmental, Health, and Social Services. Councilman Rich Revelin.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Anna, thank you so much for the report on the Board of Health. I appreciate that and continue to look forward to it. For the environmental report, unfortunately, due to a scheduling conflict, I did miss last week's meeting, but I will get the notes from that and update at the next council meeting that we have in regard to Environmental Commission items. I know one of the things that we're still waiting on is Ralph is going out to get some numbers and see what we need to do in regards to possibly fixing up the old Schwendeman property and see how far the funds go to at least, fixing the property back up to its current status, and then we'll discuss amongst council on what our options are moving forward. I would also, as a liaison to the school board, like to just make a quick announcement. I know a lot of people are probably at the meeting. I know it's well attended this evening, probably more so than the council meeting. But the school board tonight is discussing face coverings. The district policy is to make mask optional as of March 7th. There are several criteria that go along with that, as well as far as vaccinated versus unvaccinated, exposure limits, et cetera. So instead of me blundering it, I'm sure Dr. Brown will be releasing a nice statement tomorrow with some of the details. But if you do have any questions as a member of the general public, please feel free to contact us, and we'll gladly pass that over to the school board as well for clarification. And that is all I have for this evening. Thank you.
Thanks for the update. Appreciate it. And next, Department of Recreation, Councilwoman Margaret O'Donnell.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'll start with the department report that was thoughtfully prepared by Kim McGrath. Registration is open for spring tennis, track and field, and a new multi-sport class. Spring soccer clinics are set to begin on March 17th, and registration is still open for that program. The soccer league is set to begin April 16th, and registration for that will open on March 4th. Spring sessions for yoga, women's volleyball, men's basketball will all be opening soon. Kim wanted to extend a thank you to everyone who participated in the Valentine's Day Cards for Seniors program, and said that it was so nice to see how the drawings and messages brought brightened someone's day and brought smiles to their faces. Recreation is now accepting applications for seasonal summer employment, the Borough Pool and Albert Avenue Rec Camp. There will be no in-person applications. They'll all have to be completed online, and the deadline for that is April 1st. Park usage requires a submission of a park facility usage form to the Recreation Department. And non-perishable foods are accepted for donation here in the Borough Hall, in the main entrance. Use the green bins, and do not use the police entrance vestibule to leave any of your donations. These donations benefit Milltown residents and the Middlesex County Food Bank, which serves Milltown. Now moving on to a few of the other reports from committee meetings. The Rec Advisory Board, for one, was a small meeting this month, but a good one. We talked about the pool and summer hiring, the developments with the field lighting, We didn't know at that time that we had been awarded that bike path grant, so that will definitely come up at the next meeting, but a very exciting development for recreation, with reiterating thanks to Councilman Peretti. And also wanted to thank our former council president, Randy Farkas, who worked very hard on that, obtaining that grant as well. We also are looking at potentially having a walking club. One of our committee members is an extremely enthusiastic walker, and anyone who's interested, the time will be Tuesday mornings, and I hope you're all ready for this, at 6 a.m., and more information will follow. I know, I got a wow from over here. I'll have a library report at our next meeting, because they meet on the second Tuesdays, which won't occur until next week. But did want to point out something that I saw online, that outdoor story time is going to be resuming. So I wanted to make sure people took a look at the Milltown Library website and social media for information about that. And lastly, my very enthusiastic Historic Preservation Committee, they are just, like I said, enthusiastic. They want to get out surveys and find out what kind of workshops you're all interested in about, maintaining masonry and wood and windows and so forth. They're very interested in collaborations with other committees throughout the borough, working with organizations like the Boy Scouts. That is coming up to fix the first floor windows over at our historic properties. And those meetings are on the fourth Thursdays, and you're always welcome to join. And I think that was as short of a report as I've had as a council person, so I'm done. Thank you.
Next, we'll move on to our engineering report. Mr. McClellan.
Yes, Madam Mayor, thank you. Just two quick items tonight. The first is to advise that test pits are scheduled for March 8th next week, subject to weather conditions. This is related to Chestnut Street and Highland Drive water system improvements. Second item we have is Hague Avenue Patain and Firehouse Monument Project is being bid, received this Thursday, March 3rd. We'll provide a report back at your next meeting.
Great.
That's all we have for today.
Thank you. Borough Attorney, Mr. O'Neill, anything?
Nothing for me tonight, thank you.
Okay, and since we're keeping it short, I just have two quick things. I just wanted to announce that the Planning and Zoning Board will be coming back to in-person meetings this Wednesday night at 7 p.m. right here in council chambers. And also just to announce that at our next council meeting, we will give a date that we will have our next strategic planning ad hoc committee meeting. That's something that Councilman Zambrana and Councilman Peretti and I were involved in last year. We said we would do it quarterly, and amazingly, we're zipping through the first quarter, so we'd like to get one in March. There's so many meetings going on that we don't have an exact time tonight, but we'll get one at the next meeting and make sure to post that online as soon as we can.
And we can put out a news flash for you if it's before the meeting.
That's good. Okay, great. And that's all I have. So now I will move on to old business. Does any member of the council have any old business to bring before us this evening?
Yes, Madam Mayor, actually, I have a couple of questions. The first being for Mr. McClellan. Mike, can you tell me where we are as far as contract closeout, or actually, Peter, you might know this as well, but contract closeout on the new DPW facility in Firehouse, is that 100% wrapped up, contract closed, other than maintenance bond?
Yeah, in fact, I think the maintenance bond expired, Rich. You all closed out and buttoned up.
Okay. Thank you. That was an easy one. Mimi, this one's coming your way. Put your mitts up. So resolution 73 tonight was the sale of some surplus equipment. I'm just wondering if, it doesn't look like it other than that 2006 Ford F-150 might be, but I doubt it. Some of the equipment that's sitting next door at our old
No.
electric substation?
Yeah, no, these are, I believe, the vehicles that are left unattended and we're paying storage on, and it's not, doesn't have anything to do with our current vehicles. It's, so they've been there for a very long time, not running, whatever, so we sell them off, and Generally, we'll pay off our fees for storage in hopes that we cover that for the sale of the vehicle.
And then, in the same light, who then is responsible for determining whether or not the surplus equipment we have sitting next door would be listed on one of these resolutions for sale?
I believe we started with these 4, there were 3 here, and we did one just a short time ago, because we wanted to get them out of storage and stop paying those fees. There's a longer list, and I think it's probably Chief Kennelly who's working on putting the whole process together for the longer list for.
Which includes our former zoning and the fire equipment?
Exactly, right,
Okay.
exactly. So if you want to have specifics and want to know anything about a specific item, I would suggest you start there, or possibly maybe Chris Johnson as well. He would work on something like that, I think.
Or the BA. Jeanette would know.
Yeah, but a specific vehicle,
True.
they would probably know it, but
True.
yeah.
Just wondering, I mean, I see this, it's good to see getting stuff off our books, and I'm wondering when we're gonna get that off our books. And the last one, this one goes out to Councilman Dave Potter.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Dave. You brought up last meeting in regards to the Cottage Avenue Firehouse and possibly maintaining that facility as an alternate north end emergency location for when we have flooding that kind of separates the town in half. Anything further on that? Anything else that council can do to see that goal moved forward or to help evaluate that?
I don't have anything right now, but I can tell you this, I'll be meeting with Chief Kennelly soon, to discuss that further.
Thanks. That's all I have this evening, so some of you got off lucky.
Anyone else have any old business? Seeing none, we'll close old business and move on to new business. Does any member of the council have any new business to bring before us this evening?
I don't know if this is new business, but I'm going to give it a go here, and you can tell me if it, some of the committees have asked if we will maintain Zoom accounts to continue meeting online, which has worked out well for them for attendance and other reasons. I thought of it because you noted that the Planning and Zoning Board will be resuming in-person meetings.
To my knowledge, yes, the committees will continue to maintain their Zoom accounts. That's correct, right, Mimi? So it would really be up to the committee.
If that's their pleasure and that's the most convenient.
Up to the committee chair and the committee liaison. If they want to meet in person, that's fine, but if everyone's more comfortable with Zoom, that's fine too. We had the planning board as well as the council meetings are advertised and are more open to the public. Anyone, of course, is welcome to join any committee meeting, and the links can always be found online, but we had said last year that we would bring the planning board back in person, but as far as the committees are, we're keeping all of those links active.
Okay, so we'll keep our Zoom accounts. Okay, very good. Thank you.
Anyone else have any new business? Seeing none, I'll close new business, and I'll move on to audience comments. The public comment portion of our meeting is to allow the public to bring to the council's attention their concerns or comments. The council will respect the public's time by refraining any comment until the speaker has finished. It should be further noted, the public comment portion of our meeting is not structured as a question and answer. If a member of the public has specific questions they seek answers to, an appointment can be made with the appropriate official. Please state your name and address for the record when you come to the podium. Okay. Hi,
I'm
Barbara.
Barbara Wright, 38 Harrison Avenue, and I just want to give a little report from the Milltown Historical Society that we will be open this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the beginning of our new hours that we're going to open up every first Saturday of the month. So we're moving past COVID, and we want to get people back in the museum. And also other good news from us is that we're going to resume fourth grade tours this month. So the fourth grade students from Joyce Kilmer School will be visiting the museum. We haven't set a date, but it will be this month. And we're going to run a contest for the fourth graders to help design a float that we can put in the 4th of July parade. So that's all good news from the Milltown Historical Society.
Did you say 11 to 1?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Seeing none, I will close audience comments and move on to council comments. Does any member of the council have any final comments?
Just one for myself. I'd like to congratulate and let the residents know, I know we didn't read this one individually, but Ron Cefalone will be our new recreation director. We had an overwhelming response to this job posting. We had a tremendous amount of very well-qualified candidates, and we thank all of them for coming in. It was not an easy decision, but we have a lot of confidence in Ron, and we're really looking forward to him coming on board. So congratulations, Ron, if you're out there watching at home, and look forward to working with you soon.
Well, hopefully he'll be at one of the next meetings so we can introduce him to everyone. Yes. He's not official yet for a couple of weeks, but we'll bring him here. Yep. Good. Thank you. Anyone else?
Madam Mayor, I would like to once again thank Jason Kahn and Neil Murata for giving a very informative presentation for Milltown 4th of July this year, and look forward to seeing as a resolution in our next meeting.
Yes, well, that's right. And look forward to seeing everyone at the Celebrity Bartender and Dine to Donate. Also at the 8th grade March Madness on March 11th. Many of us will be there also. So it's nice to see that person, and we all get together and, you know, keep our, and doing our volunteer opportunities in person for a change. So, anyone else? Seeing none, we'll close council comments, and I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Potter, second by Councilwoman O'Donnell. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you all very much. Take care.
So long, good to see you.
Got off easy. I know, right? Next week going on the line, I'm like, all right. I'm like doubled up, ready to jump in.
It's funny, like, you sit and you go,
Yeah. No, before I leave, I don't know what's for the moment. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're like, oh wait, why mention that?
As soon as you started reading what you put on,